It looks like your glass is a little dented here. Yeah, a little bit. Not yet. I'll wear it when the ride comes, or when the park comes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go!
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
Look at the mountain.
Man, I should have brought my glasses.
What glasses?
My prescription glasses. I mean, I can see, but I bet it looks even nicer when it's clear. Do you remember this at all? Your mom said, yeah, your mom said you went there before when you were a baby. You don't remember? This is your first time?
Yeah.
When you're taller, we'll come back again so you can do all the rides. Okay? You won't be scared. When you're big like Kiana, you won't be scared.
Like this train.
Huh?
This train.
This is easy. It's just a train ride. Train ride.
Now I still stop.
They're waiting. Because there's people trying to get on the other train. So.
You thought it was a comedy. You said it was a comedy.
Rồi quay trên Dũng quay lên.
Hả?
Quay ngay Dũng quay lên.
You have 512 gigs. You waste all you want. Did you get that all already?
Yeah.
Is that a golf course? It looks like one.
Đó nên zoom vô bỏ luôn rồi lên.
Yeah. That feels very clear, very sharp, very real.
Hello cả nhà yêu hãy ly ngồi trên chuyến xe bus này và đi tham quan Universal Studio nha mọi người. Mọi người sẽ được cô hướng dẫn viên giới thiệu từng cái tòa nhà để mà giống như là họ quay phim truyền hình của bên Mỹ mọi người. Mọi người xem phim truyền hình mọi người sẽ thấy giống như là trong đó có cảnh của từng gia đình nhà của họ sống ra sao và họ đi làm gì, đi làm ở nơi nào, hay là có văn phòng cảnh sát hay là có quán cà phê. Nó tóm lại những cái cảnh giả đó mình thấy đều dồn vô một cái tòa nhà hết nha mọi người. Và từng bộ phim là từng cái tòa nhà khác nhau, cho nên cô ta sẽ giới thiệu cho mọi người thấy. Giống như là phim The Voice hay là phim phim của Will Smith hồi xưa mọi người. Cái phim truyền hình đó rất là nổi tiếng. Và sau đó nữa là từng bộ phim Hollywood sẽ dàn dựng như thế nào. Những cái cảnh giả giống như là nước này nước nọ đều là những cái nước họ làm giống cái nước đó, giống như là tạo cảnh giả hết. Giống như là họ không có cần bay qua bên nước này nước nọ để quay phim. Nhiều khi họ chỉ bay qua để lấy 1-2 cảnh giả đó thôi. Còn lại là họ quay thường ngày chỉ là dồn như trong đây hết nha mọi người. Chứ mọi người tưởng tượng đi, quay phim mà đem hết tất cả những cái dụng cụ mà qua nước khác mà quay mà ở bên đó lâu nữa là họ tốn tiền rất là nhiều. Cho nên một cách mà hà tiện tiền á, có nghĩa là họ dồn vô một cái nơi này hết. Có nghĩa là nơi này là cái nơi để họ quay phim Hollywood mình coi á mọi người. Đó, từng phim nào, chỗ nào, khúc nào, quay như thế nào là cô ta sẽ giới thiệu cho mình hết. và cô ta sẽ cho biết lịch sử của từng bộ phim hay là lịch sử của từng cái bộ phim truyền hình, TV show sản xuất như thế nào, dàn như thế nào, cô ta đều nói cho mình nghe hết. Thật đáng tiếc Haley không có thể nào mà dịch theo cô ấy được, là bởi vì nếu mà hai người mà nói tới nói lui là nó sẽ chọi với nhau, mọi người nghe không có rõ. Haley chỉ tóm tắt như vậy thôi, xin mọi người thông cảm cho Haley nha. Haley cố gắng quay để cho mọi người thấy là phim Hollywood họ dàn dựng như thế nào, chứ mình ở nhà mình đâu có biết được là phim Hollywood làm như thế nào đâu mọi người, chỉ có vô trong đây mình mới mở mắt ra mình chứng kiến được thôi. Và mọi người đừng có rời màn hình nha, sau đó sẽ nhiều điều thú vị mọi người sẽ thấy giống như là những cái chuyện mà mọi người sẽ không bao giờ ở ngoài sẽ thấy nha mọi người. Thương mọi người rất là nhiều, lúc nào cũng ủng hộ Haley nha. Đó, giống như là đây nè, đây là cái cảnh mà họ cái cảnh chỗ xe cứu lửa, xe cứu thương nè, đây là cái cảnh thật luôn á, xe thiệt luôn á mọi người.
Have them here on the lot because every so often we do have a real emergency. This is Hollywood though, so they may be the only on today's tour. As we continue down the timeline, we're going to be heading into the front lot. The front lot is primarily sound stages. If you don't know what a sound stage is, that's okay. I'm going to show you a ton of them, tell you all about them. You're going to be pros by the end of this tour. A soundstage is a large warehouse-type building that you build your set inside of, film inside of, and it blocks out about 98% of sound, which is really great. When you have trains going by, construction work going on, you don't want to hear all this nonsense in the background of your TV show or movie. Over to your left, you can see our largest single soundstage. This is Soundstage 12. It's where we used to film The Voice. The Voice is in its 21st season. They do still film here on the lot, but they've moved across to one of our newer sound stages because not only is Soundstage 12 very large, it is also very old. And to see a few of the movies that have filmed in there over its many, many years, just look up on your screens. Inside of an empty soundstage, you can look up on your screen. Again, this is Soundstage 12. You can see the padding on the walls, that's for soundproofing. And then the grid on the ceiling is for hanging lights. That's another reason why you may want to film inside of a soundstage, is because you have full control over lighting as well as sound. Over to our left, though, are some very full sound stages. So this first group of sound stages, 18, 19, 20, directly to our left behind these trucks, that's where they're set up for filming Bel Air. Bel Air is a new TV show based on the 1990s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel Air. This is a more modern, dramatic retelling, though, and it is being produced by Will Smith. Again, to our left here, you can see sound stages 16 and 17. This is where they're currently filming the newest season of Hacks, which is on HBO, stars Jean Smart. Jean Smart has been nominated for a Golden Globe for her work on Hacks, as well as the show itself. As we turn the corner here, give them a wave. Hello. Feel free to wave at everybody here on the lot. Everyone is important, and we cannot make your favorite TV shows and movies without every single person you see. Over to your left again, you can see some trucks and trailers, a few tents. One of them says Bel Air, not Hacks. That's because we have two different base camps over to our left. A base camp is everything you need to get ready to be on set. So hair, makeup, wardrobe, dressing rooms for the stars. The first group of trucks and trailers is the base camp for Bel Air, and the second group is for Hacks. And again, you can see signs on some of them saying which production they're for and what department. This is a very popular setup for this part of the lot. And over the years, this is where Superstore, the hit NBC comedy starring America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Mark McKinney, they had their base camp set up out there, as well as Saved by the Bell, the revival that is currently on Peacock. Now, almost everything I've mentioned so far has been a TV show. And we have a long history of television here at NBC Universal, going back to 1939. That's when NBC made its very first live television broadcast. Now we've been making TV ever since. Over to your right, you can see Soundstage 41. This is where they're currently filming the third season of Never Have I Ever, which is Mindy Kaling's show on Netflix. It's also where we film portions of Good Girls, starring Christina Hendricks, Mae Whitman, and Retta. I'm sure many of you recognize Retta from another NBC show, Parks and Recreation. Who watched Parks and Rec? Yeah! I think people. Parks and Rec, she played Donna. She taught us to treat ourselves, words to live by. And Parks and Rec was created by Michael Schur, who also created The Good Place, which filmed much of its fourth and final season tour right in Soundstage 44. That starred Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, and Ted Danson is back on the lot in Soundstage 44 these days for his new show, Mr. Mayor, which is currently filming their second season. Now, as we go through the lot, definitely keep an eye out for those white trailers. They are often dressing rooms for the stars, and you're most likely spot for a star sighting. But back during the golden age of Hollywood, kind of the 1930s, 1940s, things did work a little differently here on the lot. We had something called contract players, and a contract player was an actor, actress who signed a contract with the studio that was only allowed to make movies for that one studio. So it made a lot more sense to have permanent dressing rooms here on the lot for those contract players. If you look over to your left, you can see small brown buildings that were once dressing rooms to stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, and Jimmy Stewart. We no longer use them as dressing rooms, we use those white trailers, so we've converted all of these buildings into office spaces called production bungalows, and they are used by writers, producers, and directors for all of their pre-production work. Pre-production is everything that needs to get done before filming starts, and it includes things like writing, casting, budgeting, scheduling. That's what's happening over in the bungalows. Again, to our left here, you're going to see two of our newer sound stages. These are sound stages 22 and 23, to where we recently wrapped the second season of Kenan. Kenan is a sitcom starring Kenan Thompson, who I'm sure many of you know from Saturday Night Live, or if you're of a certain generation, you also know him from All That Good Burger and the second two Mighty Ducks movies. If that doesn't tell you what is running behind all of it, I'm not quite sure what will. Kenan was nominated for an Emmy for his work on Kenan and Saturday Night Live. He has his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So 2021 was a really great year for Kenan. The very first production to film inside of sound stages 22 and 23 was Hairspray Live. That was in 2016, and they utilized both the sound stages and the metro sets. We cannot go into the metro sets today. They are closed for some production prep for Rutherford Falls. Speaking of Michael Schur, who created The Good Place, Parks and Recreation, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he has a new show here on the lot called Rutherford Falls, currently filming their second season, and that's on Peacock. Again, that's our streaming service. That stars Ed Helms and Janice Schmidt. The metro sets are great because they can be transformed into almost any city street in the world in any time period. Like for Hairspray Live, it was 1960s Baltimore. It's been used for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for current day Brooklyn, 1940s Brooklyn, and Captain America First Avenger. They've been using it for TV shows, commercials, music videos. So the metro sets are a very popular location, again, because you have full control over what's going on and how it looks. You can do almost anything you want to the buildings in the metro sets. You can paint them different colors like they did for a Tiffany's commercial. They painted everything Tiffany blue. You can dig holes and blow things up, which is what they did for Blues Brothers, and we'll hear a little bit more about that right here.
On the ground though, just scratching it.
Wow.
And you saw it land and make this big hole in the street. That was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago.
Because there's no room there. Put my leg down. I look at shoes.
When people ask me, all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying and the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive, training the best stuff in the world, and got to be a record. So it was.
John Landis is one of the many directors we've enjoyed working with here at Universal Studios, and another of which is Peter Jackson.
This is the original theme song that I saw that movie on TV about ancient origins. I like movies that just take you away from your life and sweep you up to the edge. Cold literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures.
Whoa, look at Lexi. We're going in. We're going in.
So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride.
Time to go
Now,
in.
we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have to have your glasses. Don't put them on yet. Just have them in your hand. We're about to Skull Island.
We are about to return to Skull Island, folks, so please do remain seated and hold on to your belongings. Also, this is an over your mouths and noses. Thank you very much. Again, those masks do need to be up over mouths and noses.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature of Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Ai cũng la lớn là bởi vì trong lúc này á, lúc mà Hailey quay á là chỉ là mọi người thấy cái màn hình bình thường, nhưng mà lúc đó là ai cũng mang cái kiến 3D. Cái kiến nó giống như là bé Nguyệt Cát và bé Lexi mang màu đen á mọi người. Thì đó mình đeo á là lúc đó là nhìn y chang như thật vậy đó. Nhìn y chang như là mình đang ở trong cái khung cảnh đó, phim đó. Và lúc khủng long quánh với con khỉ to thì là to, là Starburst nó lắc, nó bay, nó làm ghê lắm. Nó làm giống như là mình đang ở trong cái cảnh đó thiệt. Rồi mấy cái con khỉ, con khủng long á, nó giật cái Starburst của mình á, lắc qua lắc lại cho nên la dữ lắm mọi người. Nhưng mà lúc quay thì mọi người chỉ thấy bình thường thôi. Tại vì cái màn hình mà Hailey quay á, mọi người không có được mang kiến 3D cho nên không có thấy nó giống như thật. Nhưng mà lúc này ai cũng mang y chang như thật vậy.
Có cái đầu dài hoài. You like it? You like it, yeah?
referred to as CGI, or computer-generated images or imagery, and that's all done post-production. So 3 different parts of production. There's pre-production, which I talked about over by the bungalows. Production itself, which is what we think of when we start making a movie or TV show, right? Lights, camera, action. Actors and actresses on set. And then post-production is everything that happens after filming is done, but before the movie or TV show is ready to be seen on screen. So that includes elements like digital effects as well as editing. Editing is a huge part of the filmmaking process, and that's where those hours and hours of footage are cut down to a 2-hour movie, a 22-minute sitcom, or a 20-second commercial. All right, everyone, we are going to shift gears a little bit here and start talking about picture cars.